According to the Federal Highway Administration, over 6 million vehicle accidents occur every year in the United States. Interestingly enough, 22% are caused by bad weather. Nearly 6,000 people are killed and another 445,000 are injured due to accidents that occur during fatal weather conditions. 73% of weather-related accidents are due to wet roads. 17% is from snow and sleet collisions, 13% occurring on icy roads, and only 3% occurring on foggy conditions. This topic is a common issue in America and can impact a lot of lives. To give you an insight on how these accidents may occur, here is a clip that explains it all.
Okay, so we're driving along here on a typical A road at this time of year where we've had a recent flurry of snow and really nothing to worry about. Obviously, one always has to be careful of the ambient temperature, but we're at the moment 1 degree plus. It's been like this for a couple of hours. Visibility is pretty good. But what we're about to do is turn off this main A road onto what a lot of people would fear at this time of year when we've had snow. And as you will see, as we pull over, we're immediately confronted with a mixed road surface, which to begin with is a mixture of slush, tarmac and snow, but then very quickly deteriorates into very, very hard packed snow stroke ice. And I'm just going to talk you through what I think about when I drive such a road. So as we enter this tricky section of the road, what are we seeing? We're seeing a whole variety of colours, and colours tell me about grip. Anything that's dark, we're thinking maybe could be mud, could be tarmac. Anything very, very polished, we think could be ice or hard-packed snow. And we've also got to be very, very careful that the mid-corner grip can change. So we've gone from tricky stuff there to a nice bit of tarmac here, and again now into this corner we've got some heavy ruts into some pretty deep slush, and then straight onto some polished snow. And these are the areas you've got to pick up pretty quickly when you're driving. Thinking ahead here, we've got quite a tricky junction. It's fairly blind. I pull over to the right so I can see further around the corner, and also it was a very nice section of road which has some good grip. Accelerate away slowly. We're now on seriously, seriously hard-packed snow. There is no grip here. And as we approach this corner, I've already seen that on the outside, the left-hand side is darker, and that looks hard, solid ice. But if I wanted to stop going down a road like this, the first thing I'm going to look for is fluffy snow. We can see it in the middle and on the verge. So if I want to slow this car down, I will actually use that fluffy snow in the verge to slow the car down. But as soon as it slows to a control speed, I will want to continue, because I certainly don't want to get stuck in a ditch. Here, as we come into this corner, midway through the corner, very, very clear change in surface. It actually changes for the better, but one has to be always very, very careful with slush because it can cause aquaplaning. And again here, as we come up this hill, it's changing from slush now onto some fairly packed ice, and now we're into these ruts. And again, the ruts will move the car around. So one thing you have to do is just within reason let the car find its own way. Very, very gentle on the accelerator as we go up this hill to alleviate wheel spin. It's things like this that mean when we're driving on a changeable road, we do have some options. Very, very simple stuff, but when applied well, it can really help. So, in summary, what we've discovered is that if you can fit winter tyres, do so. They're a great help. Think a long way ahead when you're driving in these conditions. Drive as smoothly as possible. Remember, no sudden changes in direction. Always look for your way out, because things do crop up. But if you're already thinking about a plan B, when you have to execute it, it'll be much easier. But more importantly, use the road and the road surface. Look for where there's grip and understand where there isn't any grip. Swan balance is perfectly acceptable to drive in these conditions. Follow a few of these basic tips and it will help you to keep safe.
Climate-related accidents occur in more ways than one. 3 common factors are as follows. 1. People don't plan ahead. 2. Careless drivers. And 3. Weather conditions. Here are some ways that we can minimize those tragedies. 1. There should be a law mandating the re-education and testing of drivers holding license over 8 years. This law doesn't just remind people of the rules and regulations to driving, but to break bad habits and form new ones. For example, has anybody heard of the New York stop rule? Probably not, because there's no such thing. This term is associated with the New York drivers who formed bad habits of not coming to a complete stop at a stop sign. This shows the level of comfort and lapse in basic driver's ed. However, even though rules are important, some things you just can't do. Another requirement should be a real-time weather notification sensor. This sensor will allow both smart and non-smart vehicles to detect bad weather. Its design prevents you from going above a certain speed limit, as well as driving more than outside a 2-car range. How long is it going to take for our country to not be another tragic statistic? What is it going to take to realize that people can and will lose their lives because of one simple decision? People need to form new ideas like this, because people are dying every day, primarily because of these unnecessary situations that happen in our society. So we need to end it before it gets worse. So, I have a question. Do you want to be another tragic statistic?